Morning, it's Jay. Today is Monday, the 29th of September, and I'm wearing a t-shirt that says Brown Skin Matters. And it was a way of, what's the word? Contributing to an Instagram page that really helped me when I was a first-time mom, and I could never find. So when something is wrong with the baby, with my son, like skin stuff, I could never find the right picture online or on the NHS website that looked like my son's skin. And then somehow I found this Instagram page that was basically dedicated to pictures of brown and black skin babies with different ailments. So if you think about how, I don't know, meningitis or whatever other kind of skin rash, how it would look on a brown and black baby, that's the website I'd go to see what it's supposed to look like. So I wanted to I thought they could have a page I could donate money. And when I found their website or their link, it just said the only way you could do that was by buying a t-shirt. So I bought two. I bought this one and I bought like a brown one. I think the other one might say Black Skin Matters. I can't remember. And the tagline is for equity in healthcare. So every time I wear it, I do get funny looks because, people assume it's for Black Lives Matter, which it kind of is, but, it's not. So that's what that is. I am sitting in a parking lot because I need to get something from the shops. I need to get some toiletries from the shops. I've just done the nursery drop-off. And I thought I came to the quieter part of the parking, but it's very busy. Anyway, I've spent the last maybe almost a week just being angry. Angry at a lot of different things. Angry at myself. Angry at the situations. And also taking time to understand why I'm angry, which I only arrived at yesterday night when I was in the car alone at 10 o'clock with the lovely gin cocktail and just peace and quiet. I was listening to Classic FM, Classic Calm, which does make me feel better. I always have Classic FM on when I'm a bit, when I don't want lyrics but I need sound. So I had to really think about why I was angry and whatever. So my main summary or conclusion was that I don't want to talk about money anymore. I want to make money. And I think that's the first time I've ever sort of said anything like that out loud when it comes to money. Money allows you to be able to afford the lifestyle you want, to live the life you really want to live. I know that. And I'm one of those people that I'm always like, you can have a great life without a lot of money. I think there was a time when I started talking about my money history, and I never finished that story. But my relationship with money is not one that I've sat down to do properly, to understand properly. And I don't know if it's because I'm avoiding it or because I'm avoiding it. So I am still, well, last week I was like, okay, do I still want to look for a 9 to 5? This course I'm doing, um, which I didn't do much of last week because again I was busy being angry, and but as of yesterday, I have resumed my search for a 9 to 5. I remembered that I used the ATS tools to redo my CV, so it's gone from 45%, those things that pick up your whatever, the CV sifting tools, is gone from 40% or 45% to 100%, so that's good. I've streamlined my CV so it's now 3 pages. I've got way too much experience for it to be 2 pages, so it's 3 pages, and I've cut a lot out. And I think when I did that during the week, it was actually nice for me to really go through my CV and remove a lot of repetitive stuff, because it's very wordy. And I think when I did the CV, I did it based on whatever the trend was at the time. And I always maintain that I'm one of those people that I don't. CV is one thing, but when you get me into a room to interview, that's when you really understand me and get the kind of person I am. So, an interview had been waiting for last week, which I think when I posted in my money suit, I finally heard back today. Literally, what time is it? Less than an hour ago, that I didn't get it, but I kind of already assumed that would be the case because I knew that if I didn't hear from them by Friday, it was a no. That's just how I looked at it, because it was just me and one other, so surely, it would be a quick decision. And the not knowing annoyed me, but also I just knew that they were still deciding or whatever, so that was fine. And so I already kind of knew that that didn't go, but also it helped me to really streamline where I want to focus my job search on. The other thing that I realized is I don't operate very well in chaos. I'm in the middle of reorganizing various aspects of my home, which means that everything is all over the place, which is why I had to be in the car last night just to get some peace and calm that my brain needed. And but yeah, so my focus this week is to get my home in order. You can't, if you're not in an environment that's conducive for you to be at your best, you won't be your best. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm gonna do that, and I know it's gonna make me feel better. I finally finished the kids' room, which is great. All the stickers are on, which was the last thing I needed to do. That reminds me to get light bulbs. I need to change all the light bulbs in my home to brighter ones because they all look very half current. I think it's called, is it warm white? I don't even know if it's warm white, but I just don't. It's like yellowish. I just don't like it. And now that we're getting into the longer nights, I will need my home to look more brighter. I see better when it's brighter. My husband doesn't understand why I need lamps on with the light because the light is not good enough. But also I love lights. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the ATS brand new CV to apply for jobs. I did one yesterday. Applied for one yesterday. So I want interim roles. The other thing I don't think I'll ever get comfortable with is how I feel when I'm interviewing. I feel like I'm selling myself. Like, obviously, that's what an interview is for, but I feel like I'm whoring myself. That's the only way I can explain it. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling at all. Because I always feel a little bit disgusted afterwards, like, ugh, you know. So, but then again, I don't ever go for interviews for jobs I don't want. So, I don't know. I've got my job seekers benefit appointment at some point this week. And seeing that in the calendar annoyed me again because every time I go to that building, I hope and pray is the last time I'll be in that building. So, I mean, today is Monday. Anything can happen between now and then. I've got a few meetings to book with some of the ladies I connected with at the Women in Enterprise. One of which actually is in the consulting field that I want to get into. And when she wanted me for us to go for coffee, I kind of made it clear that I want to learn from her as opposed to be a potential client. So she did say, hey, let's still go for a cuppa. So I think I've been downgraded from coffee to tea, but I don't mind. She still wants to speak to me, so that's fine. What else is happening? I wanted to really kickstart my month free gym thingy I got given at somewhere called the Mighty 100, but I've had to cancel all the classes I booked for this week because I am just not in the right headspace. I don't want to get there and punch someone and it's not a boxing class. So I've cancelled everything. And when I was tidying or rearranging the living room, I found all my exercise DVDs, and I'm excited to use some of those instead because I need to do something that's really, really fun and doesn't feel like gym. What else is happening? I think that's the main thing. I'm done being angry. I always say in terms of life, it always goes kind of like up and down, up and down. So that I've gone through a down and now I'm coming back up again. And I think, and this is the other thing, I wish I could afford a therapist, but I can't. So I'm just going to have to self-therapize and remember everything I learned from Dr. Sue. And apparently, me being able to know how I'm feeling or to work through how I'm feeling is called being self-aware. So I think that's a good thing. Well, I hope so, because I feel better now. But I allowed myself to be angry. I allowed myself to come out the other end. I have been trying to think if there's any sort of imposter syndrome in me starting my business, but I don't think there is because I'd rather take the time I need to get to where I want to get to so I can get there properly. But also, I didn't finish all the... Oh God, is there an accident about to happen? Okay. Okay, they've seen each other. I didn't finish what I was supposed to finish for week 2 last week, but that's because I literally focused solely on this job thing, which again I'm still feeling a bit about it, but it's cool. So, and also, as a Christian, I have to think, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to have a 9 to 5. But what I did with that was I kind of had a conversation with God because I realized I pray about lots of things. I'm grateful for lots of things. I thank God for a lot of things, but I'm still not as good as asking for things specifically that I want. So I made it very clear that I would like a 9 to 5 that would literally give me the minimum I need to cover my bills and, contribute to the family until I have unlimited funds, which will come, because I'm going to make it. I don't want to talk about money. I want to make money. And I now have a way to do that. I now know what I need to do that. But in the meantime, I need something. And also, I like that routine of going to work. Going to work during the day and then working on my thing on the side. My business mentor checked up on me the other day, and I actually updated him by bullet point of everything I've done since we spoke. And again, I keep saying I need to write stuff down, but I haven't been. But to see everything written down, I was like, he said, wow. And even I was like, oh, wow. Like, okay. I do need to give myself a lot more credit for things that I'm doing and things I'm achieving. And I think also because I'm not measuring properly what stage I'm at with things, I can't see what I'm doing, if that makes sense. So I put all my wall planners on the wall, so I now actually need to start using them so I can actually see, okay, this is what I need to do. And also having my goals done finally, I need to print all those out. I've bought a laminating machine from Hobbycraft, and I need to laminate my vision boards and put them up so I can be like, okay, these are my visions and these are the goals to get to them. Because again, I now understand the difference between vision and goals. So I need to do that. I need to watch all my videos back to write down some of the promises I've made to myself. I definitely need to do that. And then finally, last week, in my daily audio Bible reading, it was about the book of Ecclesiastes, which comes after Job. So Job was a whirlwind, but he got everything back that he lost and even more. But Ecclesiastes starts by saying everything is meaningless. And I think that's where I was last week. I was like, because there's a phrase where I say, what even is the point? What's the point? And I was in that space last week. And I was laughing every time I was listening to it. Like every day I was listening to it, I was just laughing. Because one of my favorite phrases is, what even is the point? And what was even more funny was the fact that it was written by King Solomon. King Solomon had everything. He had the money. He had the power. He had 1,000 wives. So, sex, money, power. He had it all. And even he was like, what even is the point? So I'm like, and the whole point is, if someone like him that has everything anybody could want is like, what even is the point? Then, us mere mortals. But I understood this, the morale. I understood the point of it, and I just need to sit down and think about it again. And for me, when I did, it was more like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. What is the point of it? As in, what really is the end point? And I know what my end point is. I know what I'm trying to do, and I can see that what I'm trying to do is going to reconnect. Well, the majority of what I want to do with my business is to reconnect people, especially women, to themselves and then to God in turn, or to the source, or to the universe, or whatever they call it. So it was like a really roundabout way. But again, like I've said before, the journey of self-discovery is the hardest and the most lonely one you're going to ever go on, but it's also the most rewarding. So that's my rant for today. And I know I have not been consistent in posting, but I want to. And we will finish the 90 days this year. We will. But yeah, whatever you do, have a great day or week ahead, and make sure you know what your visions and your goals are, because that's what I need to do. All right, peace and love. Bye bye. Hmm.